Let us understand what is Bitcoin and how Bitcoin works. Bitcoin is a digital currency and it was released in January 2009. It was invented by Satoshi Nakamoto. Satoshi Nakamoto is the name used by the unknown person or people who designed Bitcoin and created its original reference implementation. Bitcoin was invented mainly because of two reasons. Number 1. To remove the middleware banks and third-party authorities. For example, whenever we transfer money using online internet banking, bank acts as a middleware between the two parties. Bank checks whether the requested money is available in your bank accounts and also checks your identity to verify and approve the transaction. Bitcoin is the first decentralized digital currency which works without third-party or middleware. Bitcoin has no owner, nor it has any authority or government agency which has control over the Bitcoin. Bitcoin works on peer-to-peer network in which Bitcoin payment directly occurs between you and your client. Another reason for the invention of Bitcoin was to reduce the transaction fees. For example, whenever we pay via credit card we have to pay 1 to 2% charges. Also when we send money across countries, bank charges a huge transaction fees. Whereas, in Bitcoin the transaction fees is very less. Now let us understand how Bitcoin works. To invest in Bitcoin, first you need to create a Bitcoin wallet. You can get an online Bitcoin wallet from providers like Coinbase, Blockchain Wallet, etc. You can select any one of them and get started. Every Bitcoin wallet has a unique address, so let's say if your friend needs to send you some Bitcoins, he has to send those Bitcoins to your Bitcoin wallet. It's similar to your bank account number. Every Bitcoin wallet has a private key and a public key. Whenever you send some Bitcoins to someone, a digital signature is generated with that transaction. Using this digital signature, nodes verify that transaction. Nodes are the computers which are attached to the Bitcoin network. Whenever you pay a check to someone, bank verifies your signature and also it verifies whether you have required balance to perform the transaction. In the same way, whenever you send someone Bitcoins, nodes verify your private key and also it verifies whether you have required Bitcoin balance to perform the transaction. Bitcoin uses blockchain technology. Blockchain means a public ledger. It is similar to businessman who records all his expenses and transactions on a note. Similarly, Bitcoin also keeps records of all the Bitcoin transactions in a blockchain. Using the blockchain, you can get all information starting from the first Bitcoin transaction to the recent transaction. In the above example, businessman notes all the new transaction by himself or with the help of his employees. But in blockchain, all new transaction in the public ledger are added by miners. Whenever we hear about mining, we always refer to diamond or coal mines. Bitcoin miners do not have to mine Bitcoin from mines like diamond or coal. Bitcoin miners are used to maintain blockchain or public ledger. In return of their service, miners are rewarded some Bitcoins and transaction fees. Bitcoins received by miners in reward are the new Bitcoins which are newly generated in the system. Bitcoins which are newly introduced into the market are only generated by miners. This is the only way to introduce new Bitcoins into the market. Mining requires high amount of computing power. It also requires high electricity and special hardware. Just as we keep our important documents in some file, Bitcoin transactions are stored in block. Whenever the file is full with documents, we create a new file for the new documents. Similarly, whenever the block is full with transaction data, new transactions are kept in a new block and the reference of the previous block is stored in the new block. At present, size for one block is 1 megabyte. A chain of block is created in such a way, for this reason it is called as blockchain. In this way, we can see all the transaction in blockchain. For example, if you have 2 Bitcoins, you may know from where you got them. All the history from the day they are generated are received from the public ledger. Using the blockchain you can get all information starting from the first Bitcoin transaction to the recent transaction. Now, after the transaction are added to block, miners have to seal the block so that no one can manipulate the data. To seal the block, Miners have to use a mining software in which they have to solve a complex math puzzle. After solving the puzzle, the block is published into the Bitcoin network. In this network, nodes verify the block with their data block, and that new block is added to the blockchain. Whichever miner solves the puzzle first, that miner receives the 12.5 Bitcoins as rewards. Also, they receive a transaction fees for all the transactions in that block. But, in every 4 years Bitcoin reward price gets half. For example, when in 2009, miners used to receive 50 Bitcoins for one block. Similarly, in 2012 the rewards price reduced to half, that is 25 Bitcoins. Currently, the reward price is 12.5 Bitcoins. Every miner competes with other miners. If the miners are not able to solve the puzzle first, then all the hard work, time and computing power is wasted. So to avoid the loss, many miners work together and split the reward received equally. This increases the winning probability. In summary, whenever you send someone Bitcoins, that transaction is added into the Bitcoin network. Nodes verify the transaction using the digital signature and miners add the verified transaction into the block and seal the block. To seal the block they are supposed to solve a difficult puzzle. On success, the block is published into Bitcoin network. In this network, nodes again verify the block which is sealed by the miner and the block is added into the blockchain. This blockchain is a public ledger where everyone can see the transaction records. Blockchain, cryptography and digital signature helps keep Bitcoin secure. Bitcoin price is based on the supply-demand principle. Due to the excess demand for Bitcoins, price increased by 1,600% in 2017. Bitcoin is designed in such a way that only 21 million Bitcoins will be introduced in the market. The final Bitcoin will be mined in the year 2140. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more videos.